Hi there, Ken Goodevan here with Kenny's Carrots, episode number 51, continuing to read from Christopher Watkins' Biblical Critical Theory. I know a number of you have been enjoying that. So let me go on. Today we bring you a portion from a section called Paradox and the Theology of the Cross. So here you go. Here's the Theology of the Cross as we read it from Christopher Watkins' book. He writes, in the Heidelberg Disputation of 1518, Luther defends the following thesis, quote, that person does not deserve to be called a theologian who looks upon the invisible things of God as though they were clearly perceptible in those things which have actually happened. End of quote. In other words, Watkins says, we cannot draw a straight line between the way things appear now and God's kingdom and ultimate plan. Right now, the rich prosper and the poor are downtrodden, for example. But we err if we think that this is a good indicator of God's ultimate intention. In the next thesis, Luther says, quote, he deserves to be called a theologian, however, who comprehends the visible and manifest things of God seen through suffering and the cross. End of quote. In other words, the cross is the lens through which the Christian interprets present reality. Let me repeat that. The cross is the lens through which the Christian interprets present reality. This theology of the cross is not merely a way of understanding the meaning of the crucifixion. It is a whole way of doing theology, a powerful biblical figure, and a way of being in the world that requires understanding with the eyes of the heart and the eyes of faith. What is the nature of this crucifixion lens? For Luther, it is paradox. The cross looks for all the world like a moment of abject failure and defeat, but it is Christ's moment of victory when he saves the world. The cross looks like the devil's triumph, but it is the moment when his inevitable rout and destruction are sealed. The cross looks like the final proof that Jesus was not who he claimed to be, but it is the very reason the Son of God came to earth. In the cross of Christ, John Stott beautifully captures the logic of paradox in a passage worth quoting at length. And here's that passage. Any contemporary observer who saw Christ die would have listened with astonished incredulity to the claim that the crucified was a conqueror. Had he not been rejected by his own nation, betrayed, denied, and deserted by his own disciples, and executed by authority from the Roman procurator? Look at him there, spread eagle and skewered on his cross, robbed of all freedom of movement, strung up with nails, pinned there and powerless. It appears to be total defeat. If there is victory, it is the victory of pride, prejudice, jealousy, hatred, cowardice, and brutality. Yet the Christian claim is that the reality is the opposite of the appearance. What looks like, and indeed was, the defeat of goodness by evil is also, and more certainly, the defeat of evil by goodness. Overcome there, he was himself overcoming. Crushed by the ruthless power of Rome, he was himself crushing the serpent's head. The victim was the victor, and the cross is still the throne from which he rules the world. John Stott. And Christopher Watkin concludes with this sentence. This is the paradox of the cross, the great carnivalesque gospel, overturning of this world's expectations and narratives. Where are you? I hope you enjoyed this passage from Christopher Watkin's Biblical Critical Theory. If you like what you're hearing, please indicate so on the YouTube page or wherever you're watching this. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Digging for Scriptural Gems. Until next time, Ken Godevanis. Have a great one.